Welcome back to the Final Fantasy Tactics All Oracles Challenge, being recorded here in January of 2022. Today we are heading to another undead battle in the Yuguo woods. So this is a tricky one for the Oracles because their main source of recovery is draining the opponents, and undead enemies cannot be drained, unfortunately. Drain works backwards on them. So if you cast a drain spell, they will pick up hit points and you will lose hit points. That's a famous quirk of undead units in a lot of Final Fantasy games. Normally in a casual playthrough of this battle is a cinch because you just make everybody chemist and you throw 8 Phoenix Downs and you call it a day, or however many enemies we have here. Sadly, we don't have that option. We're going to have to duke it out with these guys. And we'll see that they have a quirk that if you don't know this quirk about these ones, and if you haven't played this outside of a casual playthrough, you might actually not know this about something special that happens with undead units. So first, let's see what they're doing. We have Time Mages here. This Time Mage I was surprised to see charging a damage spell, and I was like, oh, does she have black magic or something? And we're actually going to see that's Demi is what she's charging. The classic gravity-based spell. Now, I could have distributed my characters maybe a little bit better. Maybe I could have, on a second attempt, put them over here on one side away from Rafa. Let Rafa take her hits and have us maybe kind of circle around this side, deal with enemies one at a time. And so I see just time magic right there. Just black magic. I'm checking to see if anybody has like the magic ring or anything. And so far it looks like nobody's going to be immune to my stuff. Nobody's got the magic ring on. I do have one character with the heal staff, and the heal staff will be both a defensive and an offensive weapon in this fight because healing damages undead units. So yeah, so it's throwing X potions, elixirs, and Phoenix Downs. That's why all of that stuff hurts them more. These guys can also be susceptible to things like silence and paralyze, which we will be using freely throughout this fight. We're outnumbered again, and in this battle, Rafa is supposed to kind of count as a unit for you, when in reality, Rafa really is not a very useful unit. Although the game was like, oh yeah, we'll make it 6 on 7 or whatever, thinking that Rafa is a unit, but she will not do very much. So I'm looking to see what Silence and Paralyze will do for her, and to see when they will land. They will actually go before she casts Demi. So Silence and Paralyze will both resolve before Demi does, and so I can actually stop that from happening if I can get her debilitated before it actually executes. Similarly, Innocent will also do that because she'll have a 0% chance to hit. So Silence would have done that, and also Innocent will do that. She can cast Demi all she wants, but if she's in Innocent status, one of the numbers that it's multiplied by for to hit will be 0, and so it will be a 0 chance to hit, because that's how math works on those, is that it's a function of the faith of the caster and the faith of the target. Those are multiplied together, and so because if one of those is 0, the whole result will be 0. All right, so the ghost enemies here, they have a ton of movement. They can teleport just about anywhere around the battlefield. They can do that ranged attack, and these more advanced ones, the red and the green ghosts, can do nastier stuff. Like they can do a life drain, and they can even do like a blood suck, or like a make you a zombie move. So they can be dangerous to deal with as well. So I've really got a lot of potent enemies here. What do I have? Do I have 4? Yeah, I have 4 mages and 3 ghosts, so I guess it's, 7 on 6. But essentially it's 7 on 5 for us, because Rafa's not going to do anything. She's going to take another couple of hits and go down. She's not going to, I don't think she's going to end up even taking an action in this fight. She'd defend, I guess. That might be as close as she gets to taking an action. Okay, so Paralyze misses on the Time Mage. Time Mage's Demi is going to resolve here, but because she's in Innocent status, she has 0 chance to land it. And the reason Paralyze is not going to land and that Silence is also not going to land is because she's an Innocent. So she can neither hit us with anything, nor can we really hit her with any kind of spell either. So she's low on hit points, and there's just really nothing that we can do with her magically. We can just kind of whack her with the sticks. And even the heal staff, like I said, can become an offensive weapon in this fight. So Ramza, again, it's in terrible position to be useful. I should have had him on the other side where he could have gotten a little bit more involved in this fight a couple of rounds earlier, because now he is going to move over here. But normally in a non-undead battle, this would be where he's starting to use drain life and stuff on these guys, but both because of the undead and because of innocent status from that Goku rod, we can't. So the innocent status from Goku rod, really, it's interesting that it goes both ways like that. And that Time Mage is just going to back up. She's not going to try to attack us. She's just going to back up and get out of there. So now I'm looking to see, what can I do? Should I go for damage on one of these ghosts? Should I try to paralyze another character or two? That Black Mage up there is pretty sinister, waiting in the wings to come up and start causing problems for us. So I need to deal with that eventually. Now that ghost took a really nice hit there. That's a nice critical. And I don't know how long I want to keep these guys hanging around, because innocent status can expire. And so if that happens, you know, the Time Mage can become effective again. And so it's a tricky part. I don't want to, like, leave too many characters on their feet walking around this fight. So I'm checking out my things. So what I'm doing here is I'm marking this wizard for silence. So Bean is that wizard's name. Bean's going to get a turn, but when Bean gets its turn, there's going to be a silence spell charging on him. And so look how long the game has to think. Look at Bean. Thinking, thinking, thinking. The disc is spinning, the game is calculating. When enemies don't have a very clear line, they are checking a whole bunch. The game is checking a whole bunch of things, and it's going down its list of its algorithm. You know, just says to do this or this or this or this or this. It's just checking, 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 and it took that long for the game to calculate down to move up and attack. Now, that is unfortunate, because now that Oracle will be in range of the silence spell. But marking in for silence really helped me right there, because he decided not to cast a spell, thinking that the game assumes that I'm going to be in silent status when that spell resolves. So silence does land on the wizard. Doesn't hit the ghost, doesn't matter. And it actually, we guarded it with our mantle. So we have magic evasion with our elf mantle, so we were safe from it. So that was a perfect sequence right there. That wizard charged up to us, which is exactly what we want him to do. We don't want those wizards hanging back and casting at us. We want them right up in our face, and we want them swinging their sticks at us, because we have much bigger sticks than those black mages do. I promise you that. The black mages have stuff, I don't even know what the hell, like ice rods and stuff. That's you know, child's play compared to the offensive output we have with our weapons. So that wizard is exactly where we want him. And now I've got this Time Mage up here, and I need to take care of her. She hit Dorothy with Don't Move before. And so now Dorothy, my primary healer, remember, my only real source of healing is Dorothy with the heal staff, is stuck. And so if somebody wants a heal, they're going to have to go to her for the next couple of rounds at least. Now Dorothy, luckily, because she was in range of the Time Mage is in range of her. So she can cast on the Time Mage and try to silence or paralyze the Time Mage from where she is. But if someone needs some healing, as we will in this fight, you'll see, they're going to have to go back to Dorothy until she is healed of her Don't Move status. That's pretty funny. So there, that Time Mage is silenced, and silence is more durable, as I've said in some other battles. It lasts longer than Don't Act. So Paralyze is obviously a great catch-all for characters. It does a lot of good stuff for you, but it doesn't last super, super long. You know, it's a few rounds of the character there. And now also so there's a drain attack from that one. So that's going to be a problem there. Right there, the wizard tried to resolve the spell that he was charging, Ice 2 or Fire 2, doesn't matter, and we silenced him before the spell resolved, so the spell didn't resolve. And so Don't Act, as I said before, will cause usually the enemies, to get out of the way. They will just retreat to the back of the battlefield. Sometimes that's what you want. But with magely characters, silence is nice, because it will, rather than just retreating to the back of the battlefield, to the corners, they will come up and they will start trying to attack you with their sticks and staves. I guess rods and staves, I guess. We've got the sticks, they've got rods. And so they are right up in our face for physical damage. And there's a counter tackle. It's pretty funny. A counter tackle from the wizard that knocked her back. But it knocked her back, so, I mean, it wasn't the difference maker. She still could have moved. She's now in range of the heal staff. So when she needs healing, she's in range. And now it's unfortunate there that Dorothy, and this is a problem I guess a few other times, Dorothy is going to be taking more damage, and she can't heal herself with the heal staff. So the one character she cannot heal is herself with the heal staff. So this is the ghost attack, 24 damage, whatever that ranged attack is. And see, there's Paralyze expiring on that ghost already. So, you know, you can see it lasted a few rounds. They got that ghost out of the way. But it wasn't, you know, wasn't super effective. Now, Rams is looking at what he can do. He's going to do good damage with the stick if it lands. It's a 72% chance to land. Unfortunately, he misses, and then he takes a really big counterattack. That gassed thing or whatever is really brutal for us. So Ramza missed his attack, which would have been, I didn't see if that would have been a finishing blow or not, but it would have weakened it significantly, 120. And he missed and took a really big counter from it. But now Dorothy is actually in prime position to either do some healing on our characters or attacking either of those enemies around her. Wish she could do them all because we've got plenty of need for both. So she's going to look and see what she can do. Who needs hit points more? You know, Ramza took a hit. She's looking at the damage right there that she could do, and it looks like she is going to go over here. Yep, she's going to give 32. She can't move, so that's her. So here's this Ghast again, and the Ghast is going to go over here to Ramza, who already took a hit. He's going to try to do the Bloodsuck or make him undead, but thankfully that missed. That's a pretty low chance to land, and thankfully it missed, because that could have been really rough if Ramza was turned into undead. So it wasted an action. Instead of damaging us, it just did this miss thing. So now we need to deal with that thing, though. That's going to be a big problem. So the oracles over here are going to look at paralyzing these ghosts, or at least one of these ghosts, to get them to retreat again, because I do want them out of here. I don't want them coming up here charging us. I want them out. So they're going to try to cast and then retreat back here to support their party members back here. So here's where I can attack this this ghost, or Ghast, whatever this thing is. There's the innocent status, so there's going to be no more paralyzing of that particular enemy. This oracle cannot move into attack position because Rams is blocking her on that side, and she can't quite get to the position to attack the black mage there. So she's going to try to paralyze the other ghost. Thankfully, she has better affinity with this ghost than the other one did. So both of those have a pretty good chance of being paralyzed, and we're moving back here. So Dorothy is now cured of Don't Move status, and my heal staff wielder is going to be busy. Sadly, I think that was a 71% chance to hit. That one missed. Maybe this one will land. This was a 90% chance to land. There it goes. Okay, so there's at least one ghost that's not going to be attacking us. And here's a black mage again, still silenced, and still over here trying to swing his rod at us. And so this ghost was not paralyzed, so it's going to come over here for another of one of these like ranged ghost attacks. But that's I don't know if it's physical or magical in the game's code, but Elf Cape gives you dodge for both. Now Ramza here, he took a swing at that guy before and had to deal with this missing. So now he's going to go from the side, make sure he finishes the job. There we go. So that ghost or gust or ghast is gone. And the other one who's paralyzed is just getting out of here, just getting out of town. So she has the heal staff, and I'd like to actually heal herself, but as I said before, she can't. So she's looking to see which of my party members might need hit points the most. If it's nobody, then she can move and go on the offensive. But if someone can use some hit points, she's going to do that, because the damage that she's going to do is commensurate with the kind of healing she can do. And so I think gaining some hit points on my other characters is a little more valuable than completing a rather weak attack on the enemies, especially because our sticks can do 3 times as much damage when we land a stick attack. Now, sadly, this Oracle's shields here cannot quite get into range. She's going to try to don't act this one again, and then she's going to move over to support. So we will now be finally concentrated over here, and enemies are going to be coming to us. So we've kind of taken control of this battle. The enemies are no longer in control of this battle. Now, if you see the zeros over the time mage over there, you probably might you might know what's coming. You might not know what's coming. We'll just I'll let you find out what happens. So there's a stick hit, and she's going to wait. That was a bit of a misplay because I could have moved her out of the way and then gotten another character into that spot to to take a hit. Like Ramza could have maybe moved over somewhere, or the other shields maybe on the other side could have moved over into that place and swung the stick at the Time Mage. But that's okay. So there is that one again. They're both still silenced, so there's nothing they can do. They can swing their rods at us, though. Or their sticks and staves. They can do that. So those ghosts are just out of the way. I'm just here trying to mop up these guys. And I was looking at where I can move, what I should do. And she is going to get 100% swing of the heal staff. That is the healing staff taking out that Time Mage. So pretty awesome. The heal staff right there. Now that Time Mage, awesome, turned into a chest. That's exactly what we want. We do not want the game to have them turning into a crystal, but that one turned into a chest, so that one's gone for good. It's funny, as I was recording this, I was like, there's something special that happens with Undead, and I thought it was that like they vanished from the battlefield if they turn into a crystal, because you can't get crystals from an Undead. But there's nothing she can do because, again, we can't damage them. I don't really want to paralyze him. I really want to keep him up here. I guess I will paralyze him just to maybe take any evasion away and kind of force him to move around. But that's probably a misplay. I probably should have just waited right there. On reflection, I should have just waited and gotten a turn faster, let my CT recharge. So that ghost is out of Don't Act status. So that ghost is going to become an Addis. Ramza is within range, but there's an Oracle in his way. So Ramza is just going to wait. He's just going to hang out there because we're too tight. I'd like that Black Mage in the open. I'd like that Black Mage to come over here to our side. But yeah, since there's nothing we can really do to them from a distance, it's just going to be hanging around. Now, we can definitely recover some hit points. That we can do, and that we are doing, and we want to do. And so right there, that Black Mage right there would have turned into a crystal right there, but instead revives with nearly full hit points. I don't know if it's like if it's got the same amount of hit points that like Life 2 would give it, or some kind of like raise or something. It's not quite full, but it's pretty close to full. There was a black hood that one picked up. And this is where I remembered, oh yeah, that's right. The human undead units, and maybe, I don't remember, the monsters maybe too, can just revive. Now, it's not a huge problem because they're reviving one at a time, but they are reviving with, close to full health, so I'm having to go fight them again. And you also notice that it's reviving in the same status that they were when they passed away. So that wizard revived itself, got an action right away, but it was still silenced from earlier in the battle. So silence had not healed on it. I don't know if it like pushes pause on any statuses, but things like silence and innocence seem like they stay on. And so now here I've got 2 ghosts left, and here's where I'm a little bit worried because I've got a couple other ones and gonna be turned into zeros here pretty soon from the other ghosts that are floating around. So I need to get rid of these guys as quick as I can. And I'm glad that this one's moving here. I don't mind taking a hit of 20 or 30. I need to get us surrounding them and attacking them like crazy because I need to finish them off. I believe this is Dorothy over here, and so she's going to come over here and do a heal, I believe. Or nope, she's going to wait. She should have done a heal right there, but I think she's just waiting. She should have just done a heal swing. Maybe she wants to turn quicker. I may have just been in a hurry right there. So there's that ghost down. I've got 1 ghost left. And we're going to have the same issue that we had in the last battle where I was down to 1 summoner left. And it was retreating. So here's where, again, I probably shouldn't have casted Don't Act on that thing, especially one with such a big move radius. I should have maybe left it because when enemies are the last one left, they kind of go into a, fighter, desperation fight mode, I guess. They go into a more aggressive AI pattern where they'll kind of charge in at you. So that ghost would have hung around and we could have probably concentrated our fire on him. But as it is, that ghost retreats because of the Don't Act, and now we have to spend a couple of rounds chasing it down, and you'll see what happens as we spend a couple of rounds trying to chase this ghost down for for whatever reason. So Don't Act, I believe, also overrides their counter ability, so I'm not worried about counters. They can't dodge, and I believe they can't counter either. So I don't mind going in there. Now this one, I thought it would maybe just go to the corner, but it looks like he's going to try to go to the other corner. And while we're chasing this guy down, here comes Melanie the Time Mage back to life, or back to unlife, I guess. So now my characters are split here. I've got a couple of us chasing down this ghost thing, and now I've got this Time Mage revived back behind me, so now I've got to move everybody back to try to get this Time Mage, and I've got two wizards that are on the ground there too, with their timers ticking down. So I've got I've got them to worry about as well. If you're wondering, this is Dorothy, so I couldn't just move 2 tiles away from this Time Mage. I couldn't just move 2 tiles away from her and swing the stick. And so it looks like she's in, yeah, all this, the statuses are already applied to her, so it's fine. But now I just got to move over here and try to finish this one up. There's a black mage with a 0 over there, so I can't take too long. So this is the same issue I had before, except now I've got enemies that are reviving instead of turning into crystals, chasing down these final couple enemies. But here you can see, this is that aggressive AI pattern where it's just kind of charging up. It's not running away. It's charging up. And then now that wizard is up, but it's still silenced, so nothing he can do. And he might also be in Don't Act. I don't remember if it's showing both. But now we're moving over here, taking a stick attack, but I'm going to have to take both of these guys out, and there's another wizard with 0. So you can see when we're at the final stages here, the other enemies are getting their tickers are ticking faster. There's another attack with the heal staff on the Undead Time Mage. And now she's going to move out of the way, hopefully opening up the attack lines for my other characters, and Ramza's going to go here. I can't quite get the other one there because that's going to be her spot to attack, but I can get her 1 tile closer to the black mage. Ramza took the Time Mage out anyway. So here's this black mage, and frustratingly, he goes around the tree. He's going away from my other characters because he's going after her. So I guess he's not in Don't Act status because he does get his natural 5%, and he swung his stick or his rod at her before. And there, that wizard, instead of crystallizing, turned into a treasure chest. And so if they chestify, then they are gone for good. So that's what you're really hoping for, is that the chance to chestify instead of crystallize is what the game rolls. So now we're in okay shape to just finish cleaning things up here. Come over here, get an attack, try to do that last hit, and right there we had a 95% chance to land, and I rolled a 1. In the 1 in 20 chance, I rolled a 1 right there. The 95 can indeed miss, because there it was right there. In case you ever wondered, 95 is not the same as 100, kids. So here comes Shield. She's going to come up. Hopefully she has good enough affinity that she can finish the job, and there she is with the critical of the same amount. So that is the rather annoying Undead battle. Hope you had fun with that one as I did. If you're liking these videos, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, leave a comment, hit me up on Twitter, active_ATE. We will see you next time.